Aside from the statement from the president, has President Biden spoken to any family members of wildfire victims or plans to in the future?
I don't have any calls to speak to at this time, but I can say that, as you know, he's heard from the governor a couple times. He's been updated by the administrator a couple times over the past couple days, and he is staying in close communication and close touch with the administrator, and also his team is regularly updating him on what is occurring.
Secondly, a number of Democrats and progressives have called for this moment to be labeled a climate emergency. Has the president considered that that justification, that label, for this instance?
So a couple of things. I know he's been asked this question a couple of times. I've been asked the question a couple of times. This is a president who has taken the climate crisis very seriously. He has called it an emergency since day one, saying that it is climate change is one of the four crises that we had to deal with coming in. He had to deal with coming into the administration, and he sees it as an existential threat of our time. And for that reason, what he did automatically was declare climate as a basis for emergency action under the Defense Production Act. Let's not forget what that does. It set aside $500 million from DPA to jumpstart heat pump manufacturing and build out our electric grid. It deployed tens of millions more from DPA to stand up solar manufacturing and source critical materials for EVs, electric vehicles, and use DPA to restart a factory to produce equipment to fight wildfires made worse by climate change. So this is something that the president has taken very seriously. And if you think about the Inflation Reduction Act, as you hear me speak to many times, we're about to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of that, which has given the most investment in dealing with climate change than any other piece of legislation. And what Republicans in Congress are trying to do, they're trying to take that away. They're trying to repeal IRA, and that is a problem. And so while we're trying to deal with this existential threat, this climate change crisis, the president is doing everything that he can to make sure that we're dealing with this in a way that actually leads to results, and that's what the president's going to continue to do.